Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make these cute Hot Fix rhinestone lip earrings made from wood. It's fairly simple, but it's a little time consuming. So if you're going to make these, set aside a little bit of time for you to make sure that you can get them done. Okay, so we'll be back with our components and we'll begin. And we are back and ready to show you what you're going to need to complete these earrings. Number one, you're going to need the Hot Fix glue gun iron. I'm going to tell you right now, this gets very, very, very hot. Please use extreme caution. Okay, it's right now it's off, right? Yeah, it's off, but it's quite hot when it's on. I mean, we're talking burnt flesh, so please be careful. Make sure that you're not around anything flammable, and make sure you don't get your fingers there in the way. Okay, that being said, the tip that I'm using on here is it's so hard to see, so I had to write it down. It's a 2mm 6SS. Okay, so the 2mm one. So I'm going to turn this on and have it heat up while I'm showing you the rest of the components. Okay, so you're going to need the wooden earrings. That's the front, there's the back. Obviously, I will have all the components for you in links. You are going to need the Hot Fix rhinestones. And these right here are the 2mm Aurora Borealis ones. These are the 2mm red, and these are the 3mm red. You're going to need, now I used alcohol ink markers, but I'm sure you could probably use acrylic paint markers too. I just used the alcohol ink because I wanted to try them out and see if I liked them. And I have the Arteza Tropical Tones, and so I'm using the Fig Red from that set and the black from that set. These are neat too because they have two different ends. There's the pointy, you know, the fine point, and then there's that end. So these are, I'm loving these. I'm loving these. You're going to want a small fine-tipped brush, tweezers, the earring hooks. You can use whatever earring hooks you want. Obviously, I use these ones. And the these are 6mm hoop rings, and these are 4mm hoop rings. So you want 2 of each of those. And last but not least, we're going to finish it with the Varathane Finish Gloss from the Heart Supplies. Okay, let's get started. Let's hope I stay in frame. I apologize for the last video. On my phone, it showed that I was in frame, but when I uploaded it, it was not in frame. So I made some adjustments and hopefully they work out. Okay, so we're going to start with the wooden blanks. And this is how, now, you know, you might have another way of doing this. This is just how I'm going to do it. Here, let me zoom in a little. Oops, shaking the table. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm taking the fine point and I'm just making an outline. Now, it's wood, so sometimes you'll have little bleed lines, right? Don't worry about those. Like I always say, we are not trying to achieve perfection. We're just trying to make some art. So, am I still on the camera? Okay, good. So you're going to go down. And like I said, it's not a big deal because we're going to mostly cover this with Hot Fix rhinestones. And also going to, have black around this too, obviously. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry for a minute. The alcohol inks dry super, super, super fast. That's what I like about them, is that they're just like, boom. I wonder if I get some more light here. I know you all can see my ring light reflection, but let me see. This will help. Does that help? Maybe? Does that make it worse? All right, well, either way, so let me see. Are they done? Yeah, see, that's quick, huh? Super quick. Now we're going to take the figure, or nope, we already did the figurehead, sorry. We're going to take the, I'm going to use the fine tip, but I'm sure you probably use the other one. Now I'm going to try and go in the direction of the wood. Okay, I'm going to come down here just a little bit. And you're just going to try not to go over the red line where your lips start. And you're just going to color in the rest of the lip, or I mean the rest of the earring here. And like I said, just it don't have to be perfect. You just want to make sure though that you try not to go over onto the red. Try your hardest. Okay, so while I might as well show you the side here too. So I'm just gonna whoop like that. Whoop, on that side too. Okay, so I'm going to finish the black on this one and doing the red and the black on the other one, and I'll be back. Okay, we're back. I have colored the red around the lips, the black, don't forget the sides, and then the black. I mean the back. Now, if you want, you could do the back just like the front, but I just left mine black. Well, I'm lazy. I didn't want to hot glue in, or I mean, put any more hot fix rhinestones on. Now, when you're looking see like how right here, you can see a little bit of the wood showing through. Once you're done and everything's cooled and all that fun stuff, you can go back and cover up before you put varnish on. You can go back and cover up any spots that are showing. Now, you also, I suppose if you don't want, you don't have to put the red outline. I did because it was easier for me to follow where to put the rhinestones. Give me like a little bit of a guide. And there's a finished one. So, it's either or. It's whatever you'd like to do. Okay, so now here comes the fun part. Put you over there. I'm going to do one earring on camera and then the other one off. This was not the smartest thing to use for a tray, but right? Okay, so this is one of the 2 millimeters. Now, how hot fix rhinestones work is on the back. Come on. On the back, there's a glue. And the glue only works when it's heated up. Okay. Now, is it possible, like I use hot fix rhinestones in clay a lot, and I'll just kind of pop them on there where I want them, and then bake them. And it at 275, and it works out okay. But on this, I don't want to do that because I would have to, that's a lot of rhinestones to be carefully moving around and hoping that none of them, go haywire on you. So the hardest part for me anyway, let me zoom in. Come up here, so it went flying. Sometimes you'll get a couple, 1 or 2, that the glue just isn't very good on the back and just won't stick no matter how long you hold it there. And that's not a fault of the person we buy these from. It's the fault of the manufacturer. I just want to get that out there. Okay, so here we have our iron. Okay, now I told you the size. Let me get this into the thing here. I told you the size of what I'm using. Oh, come on. Okay, well, you can't see it because blurry. but there we go. But you'll notice there's like a little, it's an indent right there. Okay, unfortunately with the small ones, even though it says it's for 2mm, you don't want it actually going in there. You want it to be surrounding it, but not in there. And with these little small ones, they get stuck. So I'm going to try and show you, hopefully, how I do these little ones. Bear with me. This happened to me yesterday, too. It's real hard to get these corner spots. Sometimes I just, like yesterday, I think I gave up and just put big ones there. 3mm instead of 2. But, all right. Come on now, get back on the tweezers. Pain in the butt. Okay. All right, so that's on there. Well, it was on there, and then my big old clumsy fingers knocked it flying, right? I'll try this one more time. Okay, one more time. I know, right? You get this. You guys wanted to spend your whole Sunday afternoon watching me pick up tiny little hot fix rhinestones. Okay, so it's on there, yeah? So instead of, generally, let me zoom out a bit. Generally what you would do is you would hold it like, straight up and down. Let me move this over some more. Straight up and down, okay? And hold it there. But because we don't want to do that, because it's going to actually get the crystal stuck in the thing, which, by the way, if it does, see how there's a little slice there? You just take your tweezers and boop, pop it out. I am going to lay it on its side, and I'm going to try not to get that hot on the marker, because it will lift the marker. So this is where it gets tricky. Okay, I'm just laying it very gently on its side, trying not to move. And hopefully it's adhering. Okay, now I'm going to, why is that like that? Okay, so now I'm going to take, I'm not going to put it completely over. I'm just going to take a little corner. Let me see if I can even zoom in more. And hold it to it. Okay, you want to hold for about 20 seconds. Oops, the bigger ones are easier because you can actually go over with those. Okay, so I'm going to hope that little guy got stuck on there. Yesterday I had the bright idea of, I'll just place them all and then do them all at one time. Does not work. I do not recommend you do that. Okay, so feels all right. Now we're going to do this. Okay, good. It's on there pretty good. Now, I'm telling you, at some point, when you do that, you're going to have 1 or 2, maybe 3 or 4 come off. Sometimes it's because of the glue. Sometimes it's because you didn't hold the thing on there. But you just, stick them back on there or take new ones and go to town. All right, so let me put that like this. Scoot it over there. All right. We're going to do the same thing. Lay it on its side. Hopefully I don't move. You don't want to move because then it'll slide and then it'll adhere someplace different. And that's so annoying. Because then you hope that it didn't adhere very well because you need to pop it back off. Okay. Oh, come on now. All right, so put it on the side of it again. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fill in the rest of this line on both, and I'll be back. Okay, we're back. I moved the little hot fix rhinestones out of that middle tray because it was driving me absolutely bonkers. So we've done the middle. Now, another reason for the red outline is, because there's going to be gaps, see? But it's not as noticeable when you have it on a red background. Same with this one. Okay, so we've done all those in the middle with a number 2, not number 2, but size 2 red hot fix rhinestone. Now I'm going to, okay, good, yay. Oh, what? I spoke too soon. I'm like, yay. And see there? One popped off. Again, not a big deal. You're just going to pick it up. I always have a problem with these corner ones anyway because there's not a whole lot of wood for them to stick to. So they want to kind of be cantankerous. Boy, there's a $10 word for you. I haven't said that word in 100 years. Okay, so it's also entirely possible I didn't let it sit on there long enough either to melt the glue. I'm really blessed to be ambidextrous. I write with my right hand, and I can write everything I do with my right hand, I can do with my left hand. So it's like usually when I'm writing, I use my right hand, but like if I'm shooting pool, I shoot left-handed. Weirdest thing. But I've always been that way. It comes in a blessing when you're doing crafts to be able to use each hand equally. All right, so I'm going to let that cool for a minute before I shake it. Now, if, say you get it all done and one keeps falling off and you keep putting it on and you keep gluing it and it's just not setting, you try again with another one, doesn't work, you can put a tiny little bit of E6000 or super glue, just a teeny bit on the back, and stick it on. That'll work fine. Because sometimes that will happen. It's just not going to work no matter what you do. Okay. All right. Good. Yay. All right. So now let's move the 2mm out of the way. Now we're working with the 3mm Hot Fix rhinestones. And you're going to start, let me zoom in, make sure I'm still in there. All right, so you're going to start right about there. Now, with these, you can start out by holding them on the side if you like, but you can actually, I'm going to have to zoom out if I'm going to do it that way. You can actually go like this and hold it. Oop, come on, get into the thing. I've got very little cord to work with here. Anyway, so straight up and down and hold it down because it's bigger than the tip, so it won't stick in the tip generally. But I always start out just on the side, just a little bit, get it going like that, and then come up. I know you guys probably can't see what I'm doing, but so I'm putting that on there. I'm trying not to move. Okay. Or you can continue, laying them like this. But if you can get the leverage to do it up and down, then that's good. I think it's better because then the heat is encompassing the whole thing instead of just touch and go. I wish I could show you better, but it's hard to with this angle. But anyway, so you see what I mean? Laying it sideways and then laying it like that. Okay, so let's do one more. Again, these are the 3mm red Hot Fix rhinestones from the Heart Supplies. Okay, let me see here. All right, I'm going to use this hand to hold and this hand to push. Oops. See, look at that. I knew that was going to happen. Oop. Okay. Hadn't even begun to melt yet. You can see it. Let's try it again. And that's what I mean about it's kind of painstaking, but it's worth it. You saw the finished product in the picture. It's definitely worth it. Now, don't push. You want to push a little firm, but not too firm, or it'll shoot out. That's what happened to me just now. So I was pushing too hard and it went shooting out. Think of like when you're holding on to a thing of soap and you squeeze it and it goes blip. That's kind of like what happens here if you do that. All right, so I'm going off camera for a sec just so it's easier for me to push down from the top. Now, here we go. This is I'm glad this is happening because I talked about it, but now it's happening. Again, sat there with it on there for a long time. Didn't stick. So I'm going to try one more time with this certain crystal. If it does not work, I will go to a new crystal. Okay. All right, get on in there now. Ideally, 15 to 20 seconds is what you want to do. Again, I'm doing it. See, look. It actually stuck to thing, and that's not supposed to happen. So that tells me that that one's probably defunct. So I'm going to put it over there, and we're going to try again with this one. Oh, Lord. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Are you guys frustrated yet? I swear to you, it gets easier. It does. Actually, it's funny because usually it's the little ones that give me a problem. I usually don't have oh my gosh. I usually don't have a problem at all with the big ones, with the 3mm. It's always the 2mm. Let me see here. It's also hard for me because I'm trying to stay in frame. So, okay, hold on. I'm going to bring this to me real quick. Trying to stay in frame, and that makes it hard, where you guys won't have that problem. Alrighty. It's such a, I love bling, and it's such a pretty look when you can get them all to work right. But like I said, if you don't want to deal with this, you can just glue some on. You can glue these on. You can go just buy regular rhinestones that just glue on, that have glue backs or don't have glue backs. You know, you don't have to do it this way. Okay, let that sit for a second to see if it actually adheres. I'm gonna be so mad if it doesn't. So mad if it doesn't. Okay, so I'm pretty sure it's adhered. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish the upper and bottom lip of this one and on the other one, and I'll be back. One thing I want to show you as we're coming up to the little Cupid's bow part of the lip. So we're going to put on another 3mm. And we're going to hold that puppy down. Oops. Come, quit moving now. Come on. Come on. I'm trying to stay in the camera's eye there. So we're gonna put a big one down. And then, because we really want the definition of the lip, that upper, that little Cupid's bow or whatever it is they call it. I'm gonna bring this towards me 1 second so I can go up and down with the iron. Because we want that, we're gonna put a small one or two small ones there. It just all depends on how it looks to you. And then we'll go from there. Let me see. Are you gonna stay? Yeah, you're gonna stay. Okay, so I put it on. I put the 3 one right there. Now I'm gonna put the 2, a 2mm, and I'm gonna put it right here at the bottom, so you'll see that. So you'll see go down and then up. Know what I'm saying? All right, hold on here. Let's get you. Okay, and now we're doing it sideways. Remember, with the 2mm, you don't want to put the prong right over it, because it'll just stick in there. It fits right in there. It's supposed to fit over it, not in it. Okay. All right, so let's hope that worked. Now we're going to go back to the 3mm, right? And then just try and make it as even as you can. You know, notice there's a big gap between here and there, but that's okay. Because from far away, it's not really going to be noticeable. That's why we put the red stuff on it. Okay, so now we're going to, this is number 3, which is, oops, look at that, sliding everywhere. This is the number 3, which is one size bigger. Pull it toward me for a sec so I can try and get it as even as possible. And maybe, all right. All right, so back we go. Zoom out a little bit. There we go. We're gonna lay it sideways at first. Like I said, you wanna, you know, don't push hard or it's gonna go zipping out. Okay, I'm going to pull it toward me out of camera so I can put the thing up and down. Short cord. And like I said, 15-20 seconds is best. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of it. Okay, and we are back. Both are done as far as through there. Now we're going to make the little design up on top. Now you don't have to put anything here. I just did because I thought it looked a little blank. Like here, I did a little 4 grouping. This time I think maybe I'll just make a, let's see. See if that's underneath the, trying to line it up with the hole on top. But if it doesn't work, then no big deal. Again, going at the side because it's a small one. Let me see. And like I said, you know, I prefer the glue on, look at that, didn't even stick yet. I prefer the glue on the back of the Hot Fix rhinestones than actual, like, what do you call it? Like E6000 or super glue. But I think it's stronger, to be honest. But if that's not your thing, if, you know, that's too tedious or whatever, then by all means, oh, almost knocked everything flying. By all means, glue them on with some sort of other type of glue. But as for me, I really like the look of this. I mean, the hold of this. Now, come on now. Ideally, once they've set, you know, and you've knocked them around a little bit, and you see they're not going to come off, it's better to let them sit for 24 hours. We're not going to do that today because I'm just going to glaze around everything. But yeah, it does say in the instructions you should let it sit for 24 hours to make sure that it's cooled and taken hold and everything like that. Okay, that doesn't seem to be moving, so I want, oops, here's one thing I wanted to show y'all. Put this up here so it's not going to fall down and catch my leg on fire. If you'll notice, sometimes I filled in with little ones. If there was a gap, I just filled it in with a little one. It really doesn't matter because, it, you know, unless somebody's going to be right up your butt, they're not going to see it. You know, if they're too close to you, if they're close enough to see that there might be a little bit of a gap or a different shaped stone, you need to remind them that COVID is out there and they need to back up. Because nobody should be that close. Okay, so we'll put this one up here like this. Let me see here. Okay, don't stick to my tweezers now. Let me see. It's hard to do when you're not right over it. It probably looks difficult here in the tutorial, but in actuality, it's not bad. It's just that I'm having to go at it at an angle, you know, so I can show you guys. You guys won't have that problem when you're just making them at home. Okay, so come on, get on in there. Well, the spacing's not too bad on that, huh? All right, then we'll add one more up here. Oops. Boy, squeeze them tweezers too tight and they just go flying everywhere. There we go. Okay, we're gonna, oops. set this one. I wanted to make sure it wasn't going into the hole. Oops. I don't like it when they... It's really weird that sometimes they'll stick to the outside of the iron. That makes no sense to me. But every once in a while, like you just saw, that's what happens. Okay. Oh, this little guy just wants to move all over the place. Okay, so I'm going to finish him up, and then I'm going to do the same on the other earring, and then we'll be back. Alrighty, I am back. I have finished up. Decided just to do a design like that on the top instead of the other one. Now, if you'll notice right here, some of the glue got on there. So, like I was saying in the beginning of this video, you just look through, and if you see that, you know, stuff needs touched up, then just touch it up. You know, it's not a big deal. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, I'm not seeing any parts that really need oh, maybe right here. But, is that gonna cover? Yeah, it's gonna cover. Okay, so, now that we've done all that, now we're gonna talk about glazing. As I've said before, this is what I use, the Varathane Gloss. But I take it from the bottle and I put it into a, what do you call it? A nail polish bottle. Oops, wrong thing. That's the satin. Sorry. Ha ha ha. Anyway, it's here. I know it's looking me in the eye. Oh, there it is. Just a regular bottle. And, here's the thing. This is where the fine tip brush is going to come in. I'm not going to glaze these up now because, I don't want this tutorial to be too long. But what you're going to do is, you know, you're going to get the Varathane, and you're not going to try and go in between these, but you are just going to, you know, brush it in between there a little bit. You don't really want to get the Varathane on the Hot Fix rhinestones because it will cloud them up. It will take away all their shine. And then once it's glazed, let me see, you're going to take, I knew I was forgetting, you know what, I have yet to do a tutorial where I don't forget to include some component. This time it's some pliers. Okay, so you're going to and we're going to put that through there, right? And that's the 6 millimeter. And then here's the 4 millimeters. Going to go right over that. Yes, yes. And we close that up there. Okay, this, ooh, goodness. This one's hard for me to grasp. Okay. So now we're going to take the earring hook. Okay, I've got you make note of what part is facing you. Oops, at least I didn't go flying. It's so hard for me to, there we go, to work without being right over my work. Okay, so you're going to want to look and make sure that you've got this is going to be, this is the back, this is the front. So you want to make sure of your placement when you're putting it on to the 4 millimeter jump ring. There we go. Close it up. And there you have it. Now, this is when I glaze, believe it or not. I don't glaze, but I don't glaze after I put the hardware. I do it before because then I have a way to hang it so it'll dry. But that is it. That's how they are. I'm not going to do this one because I just showed you how to do it. So, again, it is a time-consuming project, but it's very, very rewarding. And if you don't, if you don't want to sit and use the hot, the glue that's naturally on there, then get yourself some other glue and use that. But I really do think that this is stronger. You want to, since they are wood, oh, and when you're glazing, don't forget to glaze the sides and the back. And because they are wood, I wouldn't be getting them wet, you know, just because, you know, wood and water really don't mix, even though the Varathane will be on there. I mean, a little wet's all right, but you don't want to like shower in them or go swimming or something like that. Okay, folks, I hope you, here's the original. That's with the glaze on. You can see the difference. See that? So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please subscribe. Thanks for joining me. We'll talk to you later.